So, hello YouTube, far more traditional video for me today. I'm at a drift day at Stafford. Track is over there, just about to go for our first run. So, on the first couple of runs in, and I'm pretty pleased. I've actually got a car that's drivable. The knuckle chop definitely resolved the problem with the self-steer. It's much easier to drive. The steering sort of responds quite well. Still not quite enough caster, so I'm going to add some caster in. I've dropped the coilovers down from full hard to full soft. I went out and hadn't realised I had 75 psi on my back tyres, and I was requested to put a downturn on the exhaust. Didn't have much kicking about, so that's the arrangement I've come up with. But whatever works, as long as we can keep out on track. So let's have a few more runs with some lower tyre pressure. I've only dropped them to 40. The track's wet. I'd probably get away with something like 15 psi, but you can take it out easily, you can't put it in easily. So I'll go drop down in stages and add grip and try and find a sweet spot. Let's have another run. So we're on lunch, and what I've taken from this day so far is it's excellent. I'm hoping we can get involved in some drift trains this afternoon. I started off in the middle lane, which I think is sort of intermediate, because I haven't drifted for quite some time and I wanted to get used to the car. I did do a few spins to begin with, probably because I had 80 psi on my back tyres, and it turns out 70 psi on my front tyres, so whatever tyre pressure gauge I used to set them I need to throw away. They're reduced now. I'm down to 35 in the front and 30 in the rear. Should give me a little bit more drive. I was struggling to get on people, even going straight, and as soon as going to the corner I don't have the sort of forward drive. So I'll keep dropping tyre pressure out until I feel like I've got it. But this day is fantastic. It's Learn to Drift public drift day at Stafford driving centre. It's about 100 quid for the day, and it's great fun. You don't use any tyres. Really chilled out atmosphere. It's very well organised, very well run. You get plenty of seat time, considering there are quite a few cars here and there are 4 lanes of drivers. You don't sit in the queue for more than sort of 3 to 5 minutes at any one time. So yeah, highly recommend. I'll be back here again, definitely. Especially considering people in what they refer to as the hero lane seem quite open to drift trains, which is just great fun if you can get in the middle of one of those. So that's what I'm aiming for this afternoon. So I'm going to have some lunch and then get back out there again. I've also been told to point out that there are toilets.
There are toilets. If you're a female, there's something that you are concerned about. And I was, but there are, so it's all good. So it's nice to let everyone else know.
Okay, so there are toilets. They are clean. There is toilet paper. There is all the amenities you would require when you facilitate such a convenience. And this is something else I've just noticed on my Hyundai Terracan turbocharger. Do not race or suddenly accelerate the engine immediately after starting it.
I'll be impressed to see you race this.
I'm going to try and race this now. And then after high-speed driving, I don't think it's actually possible to do high-speed driving in this. What a random sticker. again, the GoPro went flat. I've had a fantastic day. It's been a lot of fun. The drift trains have been great. I feel like the last couple of runs were me back on form again, where I was before having nearly a decade off. So I'm quite pleased with myself, to be honest. Most of the day I spent messing around, dropping tyre pressures, messing with suspension settings and stuff like that. Started with really high pressures, suspension on full hard. So had the car have been set up at the beginning of the day, I think a few laps in, and I've been back on form again. So I couldn't be happier. The car still works. I crashed into the bank a little bit once. Well, I tapped it, I should say. Apart from that, been brilliant. I need to give the car a service when I get back, because the previous owner, when I bought the car, said it had been recently serviced, but I've got no sort of documentation or proof for that. So I'm going to give it a service, give it a clean up, do the alignment properly. I don't think the rack is centralised, because it's catching, I believe, the back of the wheel tub on full left hand lock, but there's no scrubbing on right hand lock. So I definitely need to have a look at that, and potentially maybe just some 10mm spacers. The Wizard of Lock knuckle adapters didn't scrub, but that pushes the wheel out another, I don't know, 10-15mm, and that was obviously enough for it to clear. So I'll centralise the rack, check it to see if it scrubs. If it does, maybe it's just some 10mm spacers on the front will resolve that situation. So yeah, brilliant day. Great to be back out drifting again with my full sort of setup. I've got my truck, my trailer, my car, my tools. Very, very happy boy. Anyway, we'll see you all soon.